Good morning, everyone. This is Chris around the ATL. It is April 25th, and we are going to be talking Atlanta Hawks basketball this morning, specifically, of course, the NBA playoffs, and in this case, Game 3 that just recently happened. And before I get started, make sure you subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio YouTube page to watch episodes of Around the ATL, where I do have a review of games 1 and 2, as well as other episodes over the years. I am going to be scheduling a NFL draft show after the draft is over. Probably it could happen Sunday or next Monday. We got to try to see when my co-host Jordan Jackson is available so we can both do that. So this morning, as I get ready to travel, actually going to Atlanta this morning, I want to talk about Game 3. So the last episode, I talked about the things that after you win a much needed, must-win Game 2, to not go down 0-2, to not have any momentum going into Game 3 at home in your first playoff game in about 3 years or so. The things that had to happen and or the things that could not happen. Could not happen were can't give up points in the paint again, can't give up those second chance points, can't get out rebounded, can't miss free throws, all those different things, right? You can't have two starters not get double digits, right? You have to have Kuminga, who's basically our bench now. We don't have nobody else. We have no depth. Kuminga or bust now off the bench, right? So he had to score at least 19 points again. And as it's been looking, it's CJ McCollum leading the way as of right now, right? So all those things either didn't need to happen or they had to happen, some of those things. Well, in Game 3, guess what? Even though a lot of those things that didn't need to happen still happened, still won the game by 1 point. Crazy as that is. Now, one of the things I said in the Game 2 review is it sustainable? If I said initially it can't be, but maybe it is. Maybe we could win four 1-point games against the New York Knicks. As the New York Knicks are, as they're playing right now, if this is the version that we're going to get, this could be it. Because I said no matter what, we had to get out the first round. You can't win the division, clinch the 6th seed, and then get knocked out the first round. You can't do it, right? It can't happen. I believe, again, most people would agree with that, right? We have to get to the second round, and we have to get to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. For anybody to say no, or it's not plausible or possible, you're crazy. I'm sorry to say it. That's what it is, right? Because what are you going to do, again, if we get knocked out? What are you going to do? You're going to blame the team? Or are you going to, blame the best player on the team? Well, Game 3. So let's talk about it, as Trick Williams would say in WWE. So first and foremost, 109, 108, and I wish I could do video of the last couple of possessions. I guess I could play them, but even if I played them audio-wise, I have a sneaky suspicion that YouTube would act funny on that even. I guess I could put it on mute. But if I put it on mute, I might put myself on mute. So I'm not even going to risk it. But McCollum, even though, let's do the review first, and then I'll get into some of the game parts of it. So for the Atlanta Hawks, again, I mentioned that we needed more from our starters, right? Our starters overall, some of them have not been playing well. That's just what it is. I don't know why people, facts are facts, right? So Dyson Daniels went 3 for 7. He did hit a 3. He missed a free throw. Oh, that was the other thing, not missing free throws. These games are close. Missing free throws can lose you a game. That'd be the worst way to lose a series is because we just didn't hit enough free throws, right? Can you agree with that at least, right? So Dyson was 1 of 2 from 3, 1 or 2 from the free throw line. Now in this game, again, as opposed to the previous game, I said, okay, well, if you're not going to get double digits, you got to do the other stuff too. Game 2, not so much. Game 3, he had 13 boards, 6 assists, 3 steals on a block. He did have 5 turnovers though for his 8 points, right? Jalen Johnson didn't shoot well. He was 8 of 19. And I'll break it down a little bit later. He was 8 of 19 from the floor. He hit 2 threes. He was 6 of 10 from the free throw line. That's 4 free throws right there. We won by 1 point. He did have 10 boards. He had 8 assists, which I've been talking about. We need all-star Jalen Johnson. He's not getting any assists, right now. He had 8 in this game. He had 2 steals. He also had a block for his 24 points. Okongwu, who's been our steadiest player so far, only took 7 shots. He missed 3 of his threes. He had 9 points. So again, we had 2 starters, didn't get double figures. So again, in a playoff series, that's kind of teetering on the edge right there. He did have 2 blocks though. Walker, NAW, 4-12 in this game. 3 straight games now, he's not played like the most improved player that he just won. And that's worrisome. He did hit off his free throws, though. He had 3 boards, a steal. He also had a block. Our whole starting lineup actually had blocks in this game. He had 14 points. Oops. And then CJ, 8 of 19 in this game. He didn't shoot well. And I said in the previous episode, if you go look, I said, maybe we can expect him to shoot 54% through the entire series, but history says not so much, okay? So to continue to expect him to shoot that well would be a little bit high up there to rely on that, which goes back into the other starters have to start picking it up. Right? Because they're going to make some adjustments. You see what I'm saying? And it happened. He also missed 2 free throws. Okay. Again, I'll go ahead and jump. The Hawks were 18 for 26 from the free throw line, folks. That usually would lose you a playoff game. Regular season game, but this is a playoff game. CJ had 5 boards. He had 1 assist. He had 2 steals and 2 blocks. He did also have 4 turnovers for his 23 points. And then you got the bench. Now, again, is Kuminga or bust? He's going to get the minutes. He's getting the majority of the minutes. We're playing a 6-man rotation for all intents and purposes. Kuminga was 9 of 14 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3. He also missed a free throw. Again, we won by 1 point. He had 4 boards. He had a steal. He also had a block. The Atlanta Hawks in this game had 8 blocks. Wait a minute. Yeah, 8 blocks in this game, which is crazy. For the fact that we're, not playing real center as a backup. We don't have it. The rest of the bench, you had Gabe Vincent, who hit a shot. He hit a 3. No, he hit a 3. He hit 2 free. He hit his 2 free throws. He had 5 points. Mohamed Gay hit 2 shots. He hit a 3. He had 5 points. He had 1 rebound. And then Corey Kispert, which I don't know why he's getting any minutes at all. He did not score. He played 5 minutes. He did get a rebound and an assist. So there is that. Again, I don't know why Buddy Hield is not playing. He could be giving us something. Play Asa instead of Mohamed Gay as far as I'm concerned. I think he can bring more. That's just me. Since you bench Zach forever. Probably going to trade him at this point, right? So that's the Hawks. The Hawks scored 109 points, shot 45% from the floor, 39% from 3, took 33 threes. But we went 18 for 26 from the free throw line. That's 69%. Again, most cases, you lose a game like that. The New York Knicks, OG had 29 points, 9 to 16 from the floor. He shot 56% from the floor, 50% from 3. Hit all of his free throws, 9 boards, 3 blocks, steal, and assist. Hart played 40 minutes and only hit 1 shot the whole game. He's not the reason the Knicks lost that game, though, but that's pretty bad. He did have 9 boards. He at least he didn't have double-digit boards again, right? But he had 9 still. He had 6 assists. He had 2 steals, but he had 2 points in the game. They, just like the Hawks, also had 2 starters to not get double digits. Of course, the other person is Bridges, who was 0 of 3 and got benched. He had 1 rebound and 2 assists. He had 4 turnovers. He was minus 26 in the plus minus. He has failed the New York Knicks. He probably won't play game 4. I don't see how you could do it now. He failed them in game 2, going 3 for 10 and missing that last shot. Back to back, there's again things that can't happen, things that have to happen for the Hawks to be able to win game 3 that I said. Karl-Anthony Towns is probably not going to have just 12 shots, but lo and behold, he had 12 shots again, and he hit half of them. He was 58% from the floor, 1 of 3 from 3. He had 17 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks at 22 points. But he only took 12 shots in that game. Why is that? Because Brunson, again, had 20 plus. He was 11 for 23. He missed all 5 of his threes, though. He was 4 or 5 from the line. He had 4 assists, 2 steals. So basically, because of Bridges, Deuce all of a sudden had 31 minutes in this game. He didn't shoot well from the floor. He was 5 of 14, but those 5 were threes. He had 15 points in that game. Mitchell Robertson didn't do anything. Didn't see that coming. He had 2 points and 4 rebounds. Not good. Jordan Clarkson, he had 11 shots in that game. Again, 4 of 11 from the floor. He missed both of his threes. He had 2 boards and an assist. He had 8 points. And then Jose, he was 2 or 3 from the floor. Missed his 3. He had 5 points. Shamet only played 3 minutes. So the Knicks, they shot 43% from the floor. They only hit 10 threes. They shot 28% from 3. But they were 18 of 20 from the free throw line. 90%. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy right there. But what did it come down to? Possessions and play calling and coaching, right? Because here's the box score. Not the box score, but the game chart. This is really crazy. The Hawks had an 18-point lead in this game and won by 1. Want to know why? I can tell you why. Points in the paint. Knicks had 56 points in the paint after having 54 points in the paint the game before. And again, they lost by 1 point. You see how these things are kind of just teetering there? The Knicks had 21 second chance points. They had 15 fast break points. The Hawks won this game by 1 point. Now, some of the things that evened that out, because we did not get out-rebounded in this game. It was even, 46-45 Knicks. Same amount of assists, same amount of steals. Hawks had 3 more blocks. We had 16. The Hawks had 16 turnovers in this game, 1 by 1. Again, I keep using that word sustainable. Is this sustainable throughout the rest of this series? It could be. But you shouldn't want it to be, though, because, again, you're talking about, well, missing a free throw could lose you a game, right? Not getting back on defense can lose you a game. We gave up 15 fast break points. Not blocking out, staying with your man, 21 second chance points. Not blocking out or just not getting the rebound, 56 points in the paint. But the free throws, like that has to be a scary thing right now, that we could lose a possible playoff series because of free throws, because we're not hitting them right now. We're not hitting them. Again, this has to be about winning the series. Until the series, what did Kobe say? Job's not finished. Right now, the Hawks have 2 wins, but this is easily, the series could be 4-2, right? So do we really want to continue to see 2 of 6 from the free throw line? That's threes. 6 of 10 from the free throw line, right? 1 or 2, 5 or 7, or not getting to the free throw line at all. Like Okongwu doesn't get to the free throw line at all, right? That's a lot of free throws, guys. But Jalen going 6 for 10 from the free throw line, that can't happen again. Because, again, 1-point win. We won, but it's literally by the skin of the teeth. And, again, you need those scrappy type games, but they can't be a regular thing. You need to be able to put – we had the distance. We had the 18-point lead. I don't know what else to say. We had an 18-point lead. So let's go period by period. So in the first quarter, the Hawks basically had this game in hand. We had 33 points. Knicks only had 21 points in the first quarter. In the first quarter, Jalen Johnson was 2 of 6. Daniels 1 of 2. Okongwu didn't take a shot. NAW missed both of his shots. And then CJ started off hot again, 3 of 4. Okay. Kuminga didn't miss a shot. He was 4 of 4 in the first quarter. 10 points. And what did I say the other day? We got to have Jalen Johnson playing all-star Jalen Johnson, right? In the second quarter, Dyson is 0 of 1. Jalen was 1 of 4. Okongwu did take a couple of shots in the second quarter, 2 of 4. Walker missed all of his shots. He was 0 of 3. CJ stayed hot. He was 3 of 6. Okay. The Knicks outscored us in the second quarter, 29-25. Okay. Then the third quarter, Dyson was 2 of 4 from the floor. Jalen was 2 of 4. Okongwu was 1 of 2. NAW hit some good shots, 4 of 6. He had 11 points in that quarter. That helped out because CJ was 0 of 3 in the third quarter for 2 points. Kuminga again, 2 of 4 in the quarter for 4 points. So the third quarter was even, 30 points to 30 points. Okay. And then you got the fourth quarter where, and this is a change. Jalen played 9 minutes, 50 seconds in the fourth quarter. Dyson only played 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. Okongwu played the entire fourth quarter. Walker played the entire fourth quarter. CJ only played 9 minutes in the fourth quarter. Kuminga played 11 minutes and 28 seconds in the fourth quarter. He was 3 of 5 in the fourth for 6 points. McCollum was 2 of 6 for 5 points, but he hit the game winner, the eventual game winner. Walker only took 1 shot, missed it. Okongwu hit his only shot for 2 points. And Jalen in the fourth quarter was 3 of 5. He had 8 points. He hit a 3, and then he hit a free throw. But he was 1 of 4 in the fourth quarter on free throws. CJ missed a free throw again in the fourth quarter. We were 2 of 6 in the fourth quarter, where the Knicks were 5 of 5 from the free throw line. They lost by 1 point. They were 5 of 10 from 3 in the fourth quarter for 50%. Hawks were 1 of 6 in the fourth quarter for 16%. You see just the teetering there? So again, for me, whether or not playing like that is sustainable or not through the rest of the playoffs, I don't know. But we've won back-to-back 1-point games. I don't know if it'll let me pull that up. Let's see if it will on the fly. Teams that have back-to-back point games in the NBA playoffs. I was supposed to play the music as I do that search, right? Too late. The Boston Celtics did it in 1969. The Lakers did it in 1988. They did it against the Pistons. The Miami Heat did it in 2012. San Antonio in 2005, and the Golden State Warriors in 2016. That's the list. Okay, that's all time right there. The Celtics against the Lakers in 1969, the Lakers against the Pistons in 1988, the Miami Heat versus OKC in 2012, the Spurs against the Pistons in 2005, and the Warriors against OKC in 2016. That's crazy. Why does that say 2016 against? Okay, that doesn't sound right. This is the AI summary. Let me see if it. I don't know if there's another list because now I'm thinking about that. Is that right? I don't think it is. But that's as close as I can get. It's not many. Is the point. So again, is that sustainable for several games in a row? I don't know. I hope not, because we really need to, put some distance in between these teams to avoid losing a game like that by 1 point. Because as crushing as that is for the Knicks, it'd be even more crushing for the Hawks to lose a game like that by 1 point. Right? The Knicks were in the ECF last year. The Hawks haven't been in the playoffs since 3 years ago, right? And that's after being in the playoffs, 3 straight years? And then they made the Eastern Conference Finals, the 2021 playoffs, right? So it'd be more devastating to win the division, clinch the 6th seed, although we had a chance to clinch the 5 seed, right? And then not make it out the playoffs in the first round. Okay. It'd be devastating. Okay. So again, what has to happen to win game 4? So let me put it back on all periods. Oh, by the way, let's do first half, second half real quick. So in the first half, the Hawks had a 58-50 lead. Okay. They were winning at halftime. And again, both teams have not been shooting well overall. Like, that's the thing. Like, all the things that you wouldn't think are necessarily even, the Hawks have been even on for the most part, right? With the Knicks, as far as just how the games end up. Again, let me change this to all periods. In this particular game, even though we had an 18-point lead at a certain point, at the end of the game, the Knicks only out-rebounded us by 1. But again, situational rebounding, second chance points, right? Even on assists, even on steals, we only had 3 more blocks, even on turnovers. Shooting percentage, Knicks shot 43%, Hawks shot 45%. The Hawks did shoot better from 3, 39% to 28%. But again, the free throws, the Knicks hit 90% from the free throw line. The Hawks shot 69%. By the way, the Hawks had 40 points in the paint, 17 second chance points, and 20 fast break points. So on the second chance and the fast breaks, you kind of even it out. But again, it's a matter of those 21 fast break points. I mean, the 15 fast break points and the 21 second chance points is why that 18-point lead evaporated. 56 points in the paint is the reason why that lead evaporated. And even though the Knicks made adjustments, they still ended up losing because all of a sudden Hart couldn't do nothing out there. Hart's been pretty reliable for them, not in that game. And again, Chris Bridges is just horrible now. So I don't know who they're going to replace him with off the bench. Let me see who else is on this team. Any of these other players going to get a shot, or they're going to just? I think they end up benching them. I don't know who they put in the. Well, it's a guard position, so I guess they could just put Deuce in there. I guess if it got down to it, maybe Shamet. Maybe Clarkson even. Clarkson is a pretty good scorer now. So somebody's going to get a shot because you can't go another game and have Bridges play like he's been playing as far as the Knicks. The other part is with the Knicks, as far as whatever adjustments they may make, Karl Anthony Towns is going to get. I just don't know why he's not getting more shots. Again, Deuce McBride should not have more shots than Karl Anthony Towns, but it happened that night. And he went 5 for 14. Now, again, 5 of 10, he hit from 3 to have 15 points. But I just don't think you can duplicate that. and for the Knicks side. And again, Mike Brown, again, those last couple of plays, I don't know what they were doing over there. I don't know. I think he's going to end up getting fired. He might get fired even if they do advance past the first round. That's how bad it could be for them right now. So that's game 3 in a nutshell. I mean, it was a huge win. Again, it was the first playoff game in 3 years. So, of course, the crowd was definitely going to be hyped. They needed it, especially the team, because, again, you get through the regular season and you get to the playoffs, and it's about getting out the first round. Again, the Atlanta Hawks as a team haven't been out the first round a whole heck of a lot in history. Everybody knows that, right? The Hawks have 2 Eastern Conference Finals appearances ever, right? Ever. You see what I'm saying? So this Hawks team has to at least get out the first round. If you don't agree with that, there's something wrong with you. But this, I've already said it, the Hawks have to win a championship this year, next year, or the year after that. Because if that doesn't happen, and Jalen Johnson is then 29 years old, and then he either demands a trade or the Hawks just trade him off, where are we at at that point? You see what I'm saying? So we have to win. That it has to happen. Again, a decision was made to not build with that other player. You just said, nah, we're just going to put Frank the Tank and Lance Stevenson and Cameron Oliver and Wesley Windu and Chauncey Brown and Charlie Brown, and we're just going to get random players for years. We're going to get Kevin Huerter, he was never going to average more than 12 points a game. I showed y'all that. I literally showed y'all the last season of his career as a Hawk and showed you his first 20-something games. Here's game by game. Here's what he's doing, guys. What are we talking about here? Because of all these players that are no longer here, are they helping another team win a championship? They're the best players on the teams that they went to. Are they? Or are they not? Okay, so since we decided to not put really good players or better fits and things of that nature, we got to do it now, right? Got to do it now. And we got to win a championship. Can this team get past the second round to get to the Eastern Conference Finals? I don't know, because eventually, again, the size is already hurt. We've managed to win these back-to-back games, but you got Hart out there getting 14 rebounds a game. That should be impossible, but there it is. Will it show me his playoff average? Let's see. I guess I'll have to go over here and see if it'll show me what his playoff average right now is. I guess it'll update it. Let's see. And then I'm gonna get off of here because I gotta start packing up. Let's see. Oh, there it is right there. Let's see. Stats, playoffs. Playoffs? Oh, I forgot to play music again. I got to get better at remembering I actually have music. It's kind of brand new. Okay, listen to me. Right now, this moment in the playoffs, Josh Hart is averaging 12 rebounds a game. That is wild stuff. He's averaging 9 points, 2 steals, 5.7 assists, and 12 rebounds a game. That's Josh Hart right there. There's no reason. But see, guess what? He has a history of doing it. The year before, he was averaging 8. The year before that, he was averaging 11.5. Josh Hart probably is not going to shoot like that again. I doubt it. His history shows he can hit some shots. But right now, he's shooting 35% from the floor. But a year ago, in the playoffs, he was shooting 47% from the floor. Year before that, 44, and the year before that, 47, 48. So history is a little bit on his side that he's not going to have another bad game like that, right? So again, a lot of people, it's 2-1. This series isn't over by a long shot, obviously, right? But we have the advantage to where we could win game 4. You're 1 win away from advancing. All you got to do is beat the Knicks on the road. And if you lose that game, all you got to do is come back home and win it in 6, right? You do not want to go to a game 7 with Brunson, clutch player of the year, and Cat, who's just he's just waiting to get more than 12 shots in the game, right? What has to happen to win game 4? Number 1, we can't shoot 69% from the free throw line again or anything like that and expect to win. Can't do it. Can't do it. Number 2, you can't give up 56 points, 60 points in the paint. We can't do that and expect to win another close game. We had an 18-point lead, and it became close for no reason at all. You don't want to be biting fingernails, sweating bullets because the other team might just hit a free throw or hit a shot, and that's the game. That's not going, especially at home. That's the worst thing about it, is this is at home. So it's, again, the first playoff game in 3 years. You get to that point, and then that 18-point lead is gone, and then all of a sudden, boom, right? So free throws, points in the paint. Can't give up the second chance points. Can't keep giving up 20-point plus second chance points games and win in the playoffs like that. I just don't believe it's sustainable. Maybe it is. I just don't believe it. All right, I don't believe it. We can't let that happen. What Will Smith saying, I Am Legend? I'm not going to let that happen. Come on, right? So those are the 3 main things there. Now, the rest of it is just going to be the adjustments that the Knicks make again. Again, Bridges, I'm pretty much sure is not going to play. How he can't play? He's minus 26 from the floor, the plus and minus. He had 1 rebound. He had no shot, didn't come close to making any shots. He had 4 turnovers. There's no way you could play him and expect to win right now. Sorry. He played himself into that position now to not be trusted. Who takes his place is gonna matter in the starting lineup for sure, right? So those things right there have to be looked at. And then as far as the Hawks go, is it still on all periods? We need better than 8 of 19 from the floor from Jalen Johnson. We need a 50% shooting from the floor game from Jalen Johnson. We need him to hit all of his free throws. 4 missed free throws. That could have cost us. It didn't this time, but it could have. 5 of 7 from CJ. He shouldn't be missing those free throws. He's the guy who has the most playoff experience than anybody on our team. Right? Besides, I guess, Jonathan Kuminga to an extent. He has a championship ring. But even he missed a free throw. Right? So the only one who hit all their free throws in this game was Gabe Vincent, who had 2, and NAW, who had 3. So Jalen has to, again, 8 of 19. We need better than that. He did, again, he had 10 rebounds. He had 8 assists. He had 2 steals. He had a block. He only had two turnovers, right? But Dyson having those 5 turnovers, CJ having those 4 turnovers, that's on the edge right there. I think people would agree with that, right? I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. 1-point game. This wasn't a 10-point game that we won. Wasn't a 15-point, 12-point. 1 point. So all these things have to matter to somebody, right? Oh, Chris, we won. It's 1 game. We need a series win. We need a series win to be able to advance. We got 2 more games we have to win. The Knicks have to win 3, right? And I would say that technically we almost have to win 3 in a row, which is hard, right? But they don't have to win 3 in a row. We can go and get to Game 7 for all the marbles. That Game 7 will be in New York, though. And yes, the Hawks have split in New York. But doing it twice, not too many have been able to do that in the Garden. The Garden. It has happened before for the Hawks, kind of recently, right? That's just a fact. Oh, Chris, but it's a fact. Again, now I'll go ahead and address this too, the elephant in the room, because you got the people who want to say stuff and everything. And again, I got a show that'll be coming up in the near future to kind of go over some of this again, because I didn't get the chance to do it before because of work. But if you want to do the apples and oranges again, and I'm gonna get off of here after that, Jalen Johnson has to get the team out the first round. He has to get the team out the second round. And he has to get at least 2 wins in the Eastern Conference Finals. But he needs to win the Eastern Conference Finals and have the Hawks as NBA Eastern Conference Finals winners, and then see what happens in the finals. I don't know who would play in the West right now. It's kind of crazy over there in the West right now, right? And then Jalen needs to get the team to the playoffs at least the next 2 years after that, right? Correct? Because if you're doing apples and oranges, he has to do at least what that other former player has done to actually have a fair comparison, right? That's just basketball. We haven't won the series yet. We haven't won the championship or anything just yet. We've won Game 2 and we've won Game 3 of the first round of the 2025 NBA playoffs, or 2026 NBA playoffs. So those people who want to talk apples and oranges, that's that right now. And if we really want to talk apples and oranges, right? No, it's not going to let me do it here. Hold on. Let's see. I guess I have to do this. Oh. I remember that. Okay, so as of the moment in these playoffs, Jalen is there's 44% from the floor so far, 31% from 3. He's averaging 8 boards, 4.7 assists, 21 points a game so far in the 3 games that he's played. That brings his total career playoff average, again, for the people who doing the apples and oranges, because there's people out there doing it, of course. That's what it keeps saying. That's what people keep saying. So I keep bringing it up because they wanted to compare. I'm going to show them. 8 points, 2 assists, 3.6 boards, shooting 81% from the free throw line in the playoffs, his career so far. 32% from 3 and 41% from the floor in his playoff career thus far in the 11 games he has played, because now he's played 11 games total. So there's that right now. But again, let's see him get out the first round, establish himself there, get to the second round, semifinals, get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then hopefully get into the finals. Because again, we need to win a championship this year. Stop playing, right? But that's what he's done so far. Okay, so there's that for the apples oranges people out there. But we got 2 more games we have to win. And it was a huge win. CJ hitting that shot was a big deal. Again, I go to apples oranges. There's people who keep saying that Jalen is deferring a little bit too much or whatnot, or is it just him, or to an extent? I've seen some posts in regards to that. I have already said, though, we need all-star Jalen Johnson every game. It's his team. He's the guy. His first 2 playoff appearances, he only played 2 games and 6 games respectively, and didn't play much at all. He didn't even score in his first playoff series that he played in, and he played the second one. It was only averaging like 4 points a game, right? There's that. But we need the all-star, possible all-NBA Jalen Johnson for the rest of this series to clinch it. Okay, we've been fortunate to win these 2 back-to-back 1-point games where it's only happened half full of times in NBA history. I gave you the numbers: 4 or 5 games, 4 or 5 teams have ever done it in NBA history. All of playoffs from 1969 to now. There's only a few teams that have done it. That's crazy. You can't expect that to keep happening, though. Because as bad as the Knicks have looked, because both teams are not shooting well at all. It could go either way in these games. And if it's just a matter of who gets more free throws or who gets more points in the paint, things of that nature, that's again, especially with the rebounds, again, whether it be rebounding, just being out rebounded, or situational rebounding. You had 3 starters in the starting lineup of the New York Knicks with 9 or more rebounds. Okay. And on the flip side, the Hawks, 13 from Dyson Daniels, 10 from Jalen, and 7 from Okongwu. And then that's about it. Okay. So that's why it was even. But again, look at who's getting these rebounds, though. Now, again, is Mitchell Robinson going to be kind of incognito another game in a row? I wouldn't count on it. Right? His history says he only got 2 shots from after having a game going 6 for 6, right? So again, a lot of this is, again, some of it is circumstantial as far as where he is on the floor and how many minutes he gets and things of that nature. Again, Miles McBride took 14 shots himself. Clarkson off the bench took 11 shots, but that's mostly because Bridges he was not doing nothing. He had to shoot. So this is going to be an interesting finish up to the series. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Again, I will do a Game 4 review sometime this weekend. I will be in Atlanta, but I got a job to do. I got a photo shoot to do later on this afternoon, early evening or whatnot. And I'll try to catch. I don't know. I don't know. It depends if I get booked for anything else. Otherwise, I might be back on the road. It's going to be a tough drive trying to drive back all the way from where I'm going to be at. It's like 2.5 hours, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. But all that being said, we need to win Game 4. Since you were able to split, then you were able to win Game 3. You gotta win Game 4 at home and give yourself that cushion at worst, but give you the definite advantage to say if the Knicks blink, Knicks are out the playoffs in the first round, and the Hawks are advancing. And let's see, will it show me? There it is. If the Hawks do beat the Knicks, we would be playing the winner of Celtics 76ers. I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself and be like, okay, what can the Hawks do with the Celtics with both Jaylen Brown and Tatum back now? Pritchard, who's always a threat, and who else is on that team? So I'm not going to go that far. At least not until we win Game 4. win game 4, I might start, kind of throwing out some stuff. Because Boston is leading 2-1, but the 76ers have beat them one game. So that series is not quite over yet either. For the other series in the East, and I'm going to finally get out of here for sure. The Cavs are up on the Raptors 2-1. Today, the Magic and the Pistons will play to see who's going to go 2-1 there. On the left side of the bracket, you got Spurs, Blazers. They're up 2-1 now. Don't know when Wemby is coming back. I don't think Wemby played on the concussion protocol thing. Minnesota is probably going to eliminate the Nuggets. I don't know, unless somebody on the Nuggets can decide they're going to help Joker out a little bit. Again, the Timberwolves were in the Western Conference Finals a year ago, right? Lakers about to sweep the Rockets with that was the most horrible few seconds you could ever imagine seeing out of a team that's trying to play positionless basketball. Again, that's why a point guard is important. Again, you can keep saying all those different things, but having someone to control something and IQ-wise to give people the best opportunity to be in the best position to score and or a ball handler. Reed Shepard is not really a ball handler, and it showed. You let Braun do that to you? Come on. That's why that's important, though. And they could have got some people. They could have got somebody to replace Van Fleet for this season, and they decided not to. They decided to put basically a small – it don't work. It hasn't worked. They're about to get swept out the playoffs by the Lakers without Luka and AR. And then you got the Suns, who are probably going to end up sweeping the Thunder is about to probably sweep the Suns. Unless the refs start giving some calls to them, I don't know. I don't know how much that fine was for Booker, but let's see if it works. But definitely some interesting series on both sides of the bracket. We'll see how tonight and tomorrow ends up and see where everybody is. Anybody on the verge of being eliminated, or it's going 7 games. You never know. That being said, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Hopefully everybody has a good weekend. We need to win this game, though, tonight. We just got to win it, because if you lose it, that gives it right back to the Knicks as far as advantage goes, And if they win, they've won in Atlanta before, obviously. But again, this is the playoffs now. So if they win this game 4, they win game 5, of course they know they can come back and win in Atlanta at that point. And they know also they got the buffer of, worst case scenario, game 7 will be in New York, right? But like I said, I think Mike Brown is coaching for his career almost to an extent. It'll be the worst. It'll be worse than Doc Rivers, almost. Just for the fact that they fired Thibodeau, who got to the Eastern Conference Finals, and brought in Mike Brown, and they did have a good season. They had a great season, 3rd seed in the whole 9. But for them to get knocked out the first round after getting to the ECF would be a complete disaster. And I don't think that would be viable for them to keep them. I just don't think so. That's just me, though. But with the Hawks on their side, they got to win. Clinch the division. You clinch the 6th spot. You're in the playoffs. You got to win. You got to win the first round. You got to win. Got to win. Got to win. But we can't keep playing like this, though, and win. Again, it could be sustainable, but I see a lot of playoff basketball, and inevitably it's not sustainable. Okay? It's not sustainable. Okay? The Hawks have to start hitting free throws or hope the Knicks start missing a lot of free throws, right? Or they got to hope that the Knicks stop scoring in the paint. You got to hope the Knicks stop rebounding. That for 3 straight games, that's asking a lot. They haven't been doing that, though, right? They've hit their free throws, they've been rebounding, they're getting points in the paint. Game 4, all those things going to disappear. Again, the Hawks had an 18-point lead, right? So again, vice versa. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Y'all take care. I will see y'all in Atlanta later today. And go Hawks. Peace.
Dribble, catch, hit, slide, grab, respect, around the ATL. Dribble, pass, throw, catch, hit, slide, grab, respect. This is ATL, you know we stay lit. Always united, check the new kit. Home of the praise, yeah, we on deck. We fly like a bird, like them hoes, check. Soaring through the city, rise up, dirty birds. All we do is win, losing's a dirty word. Selling out them seats, the city is on blast. Gotta get your tickets cause they selling out